And we're recording.
Hooray!
Welcome to our episode. Shit, I didn't start with the show name again.
Fucking ruined it.
I know.
It's over.
I'm the fucking worst.
Throw it in the trash.
Welcome to Two Real Takes. This episode is fucking A, man. I'm keeping this in because this is real. We're doing
Charm.
House of the Dragon season 3.
Yes.
And let me get my notes out of the way. Just kidding, it's just a whiteboard. This season was so much better than the last one. We were just talking about that before we started this recording.
Yeah, we both feel that way. I have slightly mixed feelings, but overall, it's generally positive vibes from the season. Definitely much better than season 2. In preparation for this, I rewatched the first 2 seasons, and it made me realize, one, I love season 1, like it holds up very well, and it made me realize, number 2, I did not like season 2. There were a few episodes that were nice, but for the most, I didn't finish it. Like I didn't finish my rewatch. I lost interest. So that's about what I'm benchmarking it against. I do think it was better than season 2. I do think it started and finished much stronger than the center of it was. I feel
This is season 2 you're talking about?
season 3.
Oh.
Season 3. Very strong opening and a very strong ending. I think the beginning, when we first watched it, after the first episode, I thought that should have been the finale for season 2.
Well, it was supposed to be originally.
It was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of modern TV nowadays where you have to wait 2 years and somehow you're still not getting something finished in time. So you have to make concessions, and season 2 clearly suffered for it. But it did make for a strong start for season 3. So that I did enjoy.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was much better than season 2. Season 2 felt a lot like set up to me. And we talked about before we started recording about the scenes in Harrenhal kind of being like unnecessary in a way. I would say you're right. Other than like the scenes where Damon's trying to summon an army from Harrenhal, anything else was kind of like why? Other than his flash forward. The thing where he starts seeing the whites.
His visions. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So, what I found funny about this was how they kind of switched. They had the same thing, but they just switched the character. So it was Aemond having these like crazy dreams and crazy shit happening to him all of a sudden. That was really interesting. The Alice Rivers kind of the switch, that was interesting. Another thing I found interesting was it started with the Battle of the Gullet, which was, the rumor is that was supposed to be the season finale episode of season 2, which I think would have actually been better.
It would have made way more sense because Rhaenyra loses Lucerys at the end of season 1 and then loses Jacaerys at the end of season 2.
Right.
It just aligned so perfect.
Right. And then it would have been like interesting to see. I don't know. I have to rewatch episode 2 of this season, but I'm like episode 2 I think was them taking over King's Landing, yeah?
Yeah, I remember liking episode 2. And then I think 3 as well. I think it was like 4, 5, and 6 where I started drifting off and just not getting as locked in with the season as much. Again, I just don't. Every time Harrenhal comes on screen, I just don't care. It just sucks the life out of the show for me. The season 2 had the same issue. I want a cut of this show where you just take out 90% of the Harrenhal scenes and then play it back. I feel like I would enjoy that much more. This season had the same issue as that, and also just like some of the dialogue. I mean, Rhaenyra and Alicent, I feel like they had a very similar conversation multiple times in a row. I don't think the dialogue heavy scenes hit quite as well as they did in like season 1 or like most of Game of Thrones, because that's where Game of Thrones really excelled, was in high quality, intense dialogue. I think that's where this show kind of fell flat. But otherwise, I did really enjoy the battles. There were some scenes scattered throughout that were very good. What do you think of Kristen Cole's death? Because from what I understand, it was very book accurate. And I think a lot of people might call it somewhat anticlimactic, though, because it's kind of, I mean, it's intended that way for a reason. I don't know if it just hit as well as I was hoping for. How do you feel about it?
So, I think it was a little anticlimactic, but I think that's actually what made it good. And it being book accurate, I mean, as book accurate as you can be, I guess, was also a good call. This show, more than the other ones, bugs me when they divert from the book, just because you have a show that takes place after this. So if you fuck something up and you don't know that the show touched on it or not, then you kind of screwed up big time.
Continuity errors.
Yeah, and so I think it's also, I got a little bit of a beef with adaptations at the moment, but I think his death being as book accurate was a smart thing, and it being anticlimactic and by the person that kills him in the book was an important thing to have, because one, you have this dude who was wrong, how he felt was wronged by a woman, who then hypocritically, that's a word, went and then slept with another woman, then like decided to make this other guy king, the son of his lover, decided to make him king, and then accepted the resignation of the girl that he was now sleeping with. This is a long one. And then he took Otto's job as Hand of the King, and then went he then went to war for this king, who in the middle of all this left, like vanished.
So it's kind of weird when you say it out loud.
It is weird when you say it out loud, but that's Game of Thrones, I think, in a nutshell. Every time you say it out loud, it's like, oh, that's crazy saying it out loud.
But I mean, again, I think the way the death was written is intentional, because the point is he literally is building himself up, kind of a thing. He's talking himself up. Oh, they're gonna
write songs
about me and all this stuff. He was doing that for the end of the episode. People were memeing the shit out of it after the episode came out, and then he doesn't get anything that he was hoping for out of his death. It was just kind of a, yeah, fuck you, don't give a shit. So for the character, I think it's very good. It's good writing. It came from the book.
Yeah.
That being said, it's not necessarily one of those things that I think translates to screen very well. It's more interesting to read. It was less interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things for me. Because yeah, it is interesting that they decided to go book accurate with that, but then have diverted a lot in other places. And I've seen people saying they're really fucking with some of the timelines and downstream effects of what it is. I mean, for some things, it's probably not that big of a deal. Some things are not even going to be put on the screen anyways. They happen in between shows and all that stuff and whatnot. But I mean, as long as they make it for a better show, fine. I just don't know if that's what it did. Like, do you have a specific gripe with the show, with the change? That was like a big mistake.
With like any change?
Like any diversion from the book. Do you have like one major gripe with it?
I would say the Maelor change that sucked, which was Maelor, if I'm not mistaken, was
the Unborn.
Yeah, he was killed in the books by an angry mob or something. And then Helena is overcome with sadness and then jumps out the window.
Is
That
that showrunners not wanting to show the kid getting killed?
I think
Because they
I
showed the
think
kid
so.
getting killed in the finale, anyways.
They did, yeah. I think you can only do that oh so many times, and I think maybe they were hanging on to that because, I mean, season 1 ended with a kid getting obliterated by a dragon. So,
And then season 2 well, not opened, but had a child decapitated as well.
right.
So it's not like that they won't do it. They've done it already.
Right. So
Maybe
I
society
can
doesn't
understand
sympathize.
some changes like that being because maybe they don't want to show that thing. But another thing is that like why I don't know. That bugs me, and then with the show, I remember when the first season came out, there was an interview with, was it Ryan Condal? It was somebody one of the producers that were talking about Damon's wife. I forgot her last name. The one in the veil.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
How she dies. She dies mysteriously in the book. And they thought, oh, Damon definitely did this because he wanted to marry Rhaenyra and he needed to clear up his loose ends.
Yeah.
And or no, not marry Rhaenyra, but well, I think he says Rhaenyra, but he marries Lena after that.
Didn't he try to marry Rhaenyra and then Viserys disowned him? And then he went and got married
In the
elsewhere?
books?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just talking
I
about
don't
the show.
know. I do know that he did not agree with it, but he tried to make amends as best. I mean, they both tried to make amends as best they could, but it was like a little too late, too much too late. And I don't know. They're like, it's tough to pick one change that bugs me the most, just because. Like when it seems like whenever I think of one, like, damn man, like I didn't want them to change that. Then there's like, well, I also didn't want them to change this either. It's like a snowball effect. So I'd say the Maelor change, the Nettles, not having Nettles be a part of it, because Nettles is considered one of the most mysterious / interesting characters in that world.
Yeah, and did they just throw Bela into that role?
Yeah, Rhaena.
Rhaena.
So for show's sake, I understand the Rhaena change, but I would have almost preferred, I don't know. I don't know. The Nettles thing is interesting to me. Like I would have liked to seen that. But I would have also liked to see like I'm trying to think of one. I watched a video on this earlier. Like the kids being a part of the Battle of the Gullet, like Viserys and I forget what the other kid's name is. Is it Joffrey? I don't remember. But the kids were on a ship.
That's right. They were supposed to be in that. Yeah, and like Jacaerys was protecting his brothers, kind of a thing. It adds to like why Jacaerys went out.
Right. Yeah.
into the
Instead
battle,
of him
instead
just
of
needing to go out there to prove something.
Yeah.
I would have liked that. I also would like to know where the fuck Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra and Daemon's kids are. Because I don't think we see him a single time this season.
No, I don't even know.
We see Joffrey and that's it.
Aren't they just like assumed to still be in the Vale then? I guess.
Well, they keep saying that Rhaena abandoned them, and Rhaena was supposed to take them to a ship to go to Essos. So I don't know.
I would have liked some more scenes explaining what's going on with those kids than more shit at
I would have. I could have. They could have shaved off some Harrenhal shit for that. Yeah. Or even
they just put so much time into Alice Rivers being in the show, and the time could have been spent elsewhere.
Yeah, they could have also done like some maybe exposition of where the kids are, because it's like Damon when he discovers Rhaena's riding Sheep Stealer, his fucking first reaction is, you were supposed to watch over me and Rhaenyra's children, and it's like, and at no point was he like, where are they? Like, what happened to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what this show just has not hit where Game of Thrones always excelled episode to episode is like if you watch Game of Thrones, you can always move a chess piece on the board after every episode. Like somewhere somebody is progressing a story, part of the story, and you can see those pieces. You can write them down. It's like this person is now doing this in this part of the show. I'm not getting that as much here. There needs to be more like purposeful scenes. I feel like I'm getting too much fluff with some stuff. Again, I keep harping on Harrenhal, but how many scenes did we get of Aemon just being
They're
hurt?
the same scenes.
She's just hurt over and over again at Harrenhal. Can something else please happen? And there's, like you said, there's these other things going on. You could have introduced Nettles with some of this screen time. Again, the season is 7 episodes long. Whatever happened to 10 episode seasons? If we are missing things from the book that people want to see, where there is screen time available, you can have more episodes.
Yeah.
And there's 2 years in between every season.
2 more episodes I think would have done good. Because you could almost keep the fluff, like the Harrenhal fluff, but add more where now you have more of a fleshed out season.
Yeah, and you space out Harrenhal more. So it's not such a dread at times.
Yeah.
It's like, another scene.
Yeah.
Can we just see something new, please?
Yeah, because it's the same thing that happened last season. Is Aemon going to do anything? And then finally he musters this army after 7 episodes. And yeah, I could understand where you're coming from with that.
So the season's not perfect.
Season's not perfect, but I do definitely believe that this season was better than last.
It's most certainly better than last season. Absolutely. And maybe getting Battle of the Gullet at the beginning does take away a lot from season 2 and adds a lot to season 3. Just having one of those big episodes, like Game of Thrones always had. Episode 9 was always the big battle or major plot twist kind of episode.
Yeah.
And then this one, it's always been the finale, and then season 2 just literally didn't have one. It had it had Rook's Rest, but that was like episode 6 or something. It had a couple episodes in between. But yeah, I think there's still plenty of room for improvement. I think season 4, the last season, they have a lot to squeeze into season 4. Season 4, honestly, is kind of being set up to be very good.
Yeah.
If they execute this properly, season 4 could end up being the best one. Having done my rewatch, I think it'll be hard to top season 1 because that one just really hit the Game of Thrones vibes for me the most.
Yeah.
I think season 4 really does have a lot of potential if they do it properly. So I will go into the next season optimistic that they can stick the landing. The opportunity is there. And enjoy the things of this season I did like, because there are a lot of things that did hit. The battle scenes came out really good. They were actually really good at sneaking in little one-liners in this show. Like, there were some funny scenes.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
My favorite part was Torrin Manderley speaking, and Damon's like, "I will not have people lecture me whose greatest battle is with their own digestion." And I was like, "Fuck, that's such a great line."
Aegon's "I'm alive" has been memed into the ground over the last week, and it's fine. It's still funny, and it's not going anywhere. It was like the best line delivery of the show. Yeah, there are just little things here and there. Ormond having his whole smell thing, and they're just constantly just sneaking that in there with him. It's because, again, those are the little things that I think are very important to include with the show, because it is so easy to just throw that aside and say, do we really need to make a point that he's sensitive to smells? Do we really have to do that? And there's someone in the writing room that says, yes, that's important. These are the little scenes that make the show better. Because at the end of the day, was it like his downfall or anything? No, not really. It was just part of his character. It adds something to the character, so you kind of recognize him and give a shit.
Yeah. Can we not gloss over the fact that Damon sees Hugh running through Tumbleton yelling cat, and since Damon is unaware of Hugh's personal life, he just assumes that Hugh is running through this town looking for a cat.
Looking for a cat that he's named Cat. I'm totally down for that to be the actual lore.
That would be that's just ugh.
Yeah, because I mean we have the last episode up right now. If there's one thing that they have done very well is Damon has such badass looking armor. The armor looks so good. They did that too with Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The armor looked really good in that show.
Yeah.
That the costume design and all that has done really well. And I mentioned this also when we were talking earlier. The other thing that they've done exceptionally well with this show is the visuals of the dragons.
Yes.
Like all of the dragons have like their unique features to them, where they all they can all stand out. Caraxes has this very long neck, and it's kind of a weird, different looking body. Sunfire has that golden color to him, and his deformity is now. Couldn't really notice it the first time, but in the second to last episode, was like, oh yeah, that dragon is all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah.
They've done a great job of making Vagar look like an giant old ass dragon. Like I wasn't sure how
With
they
the
were gonna
old
play it
hair.
out.
Remember every time we
Yeah.
see it, yeah.
It's very good. And Tasarian here with Darren looks gorgeous. Like this an awesome looking dragon. I think that's something that they've really excelled at. And you can tell where the budget's gone.
Are we surprised that they only executed Ulf's switch and not Hugh's?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Hugh kind of became a side character in this part, like almost too much of a side character. The impact of him finding his wife is just not as strong as it probably could have been. But I think this was very clearly set up, and it's just one more thing that they get to fill in for the final season. Again, no spoilers for those who haven't read the book, but there's a lot of plot lines that they can still fill out, and they, again, kind of like with season 2, they could have fit more into the show to where you get more payoffs. They're kind of kicking all the cans down the road right now.
Yeah.
Which, again, if they stick season 4, then fine. It could be insane. But the show has slightly suffered from feeling a little dragged on.
I'm interested to see next season how they deal with. Like, I know the whole story, book wise, but I'm interested to see how they take it on the show, like Ulf's turning and stuff. I'm really interested in that. I'm also very confused as to Ulf's. Like, I know the story from the book, but in the show, Ulf attacks the attacking army and then turns and then attacks Tumbleton. So it's like you're kind of burning the candle at both ends almost.
Yeah,
like you're not helping yourself.
Burned both sides of the bridge.
Yeah, while he's on said bridge.
Yeah.
It's like I don't understand what you're thinking, dude. And then again, he could have been drunk.
That being said, I said this when we watched the episode. I feel like Ulf's turn here felt better than Daenerys' turn in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like that one was just frustrating, partly because of just how rushed and how much they dropped the ball with the final season. But here, it just seemed to make more sense with the character.
Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree.
What do you think of Rhaenyra though? Because I've seen a lot of very mixed reactions to it. Because like the first episode when they bring back Jacaerys' body, we were just like, oh, she's going for an Emmy right now. Like she's killing it with this. And then there are other scenes where she, like at the beginning of the finale, where she's kind of having almost like a panic attack because Aegon is alive. Are they making her almost too flawed? Do you think?
Um. Oh God. I think if you're asking my opinion, do I think Rhaenyra? I think Rhaenyra's turn is almost more. Do I want to say fluid? Is more believable than Daenerys's, I guess, because Daenerys, what's strange is like she goes through a lot through all those seasons. I mean, her brother's killed. I mean, before that, she's like sold into essentially a marriage. Her husband is killed. Her baby dies, and she's cursed to never have children. Um, she's betrayed. She's tested constantly by men in power and things like that. Every other episode there's an attempt on her life, and then she gets to Westeros, and then it's like she keeps running into issues. Like the Tyrell army gets cut off. You remember that? That was really frustrating for her. Grey Worm gets trapped at Casterly Rock.
Well, here's the problem, though. What I have with Daenerys' turn is, while despite everything, all the struggles that she's gone through, after going into the Long Night, the episode 3 of episode 3 of season 8, she's kind of still on top of the world almost. Aside from she lost one dragon, Viserion. That was the biggest hit.
Right.
But at the time, she still had Grey Worm, she still had Missandei, she still had Jorah. Like, most of her inner circle was still there. And then over the course of like 3 episodes, it's just complete collapse.
Yeah. So over the course of those 2 episodes, they had the Long Night. So Jorah dies. Missandei's kidnapped. There was a lot going on, and then they tried to like force this narrative of Tyrion is working against her, kind of thing. She frees Jaime after vouching for him after he attempted to leave, all that stuff.
I mean, it was so bottom of the barrel, though.
It was such a rushed thing that it kind of bummed me out how they played it out, because the whole a Targaryen is born and the gods flip a coin thing. God damn, man, like, it sucked. Like, it didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel like it didn't feel good. Like, I just didn't care for it.
And again, but
like
that's how the story should probably end, over the course of maybe 14 something episodes instead of 3. That's fine. You can see like the irony of finally getting the throne, but everything around her is lost, kind of a thing. So it's kind of a hollow victory, whatever.
Right? Yeah.
But you can't get a payout. You can't just immediately pay that off.
Rhaenyra's
It's like with Ulf, who gives a shit? This guy wasn't built up for 7 seasons to reach his high point. He was already lowborn. He was never really all that happy. Even when he had the dragon, he was disgruntled one way or another. Goes to the people who he's comfortable with. Rhaenyra says, "No, you can't do that." And he's already turning real quick. It's not unbelievable. It's plenty believable for him to do that. It fits his character just fine. You can't build up a character like Daenerys for 7 seasons and then tear it all down in 3. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
It just failed.
This definitely feel like this turn I love because it's more nuanced. She can't get anointed. What does she do? She kills the High Septon. She loses both. By the way, the second episode, Emma D'Arcy deserves that Emmy. That episode alone, like that part where she's talking to Jace's body,
really good.
was probably
so good.
some of the best acting I think in the entire like Game of Thrones world, in my opinion. That for me sold her downward spiral. It really did.
This spiral is planned out way better.
It is.
This is
much better.
This is how you properly do it. And again, it's important to the story because we know how her story ends, but you, as the showrunners, you don't want it to look like the good, like the person who should have won lost kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like the point is the house tears itself apart.
Yeah.
Neither side was right. They both were flawed, and they're doing an okay-ish job of showing that with Rhaenyra. I'm not entirely sold on it, but like there are major points where she is slowly beginning to fall apart. She lost Lucerys, then she loses Jacaerys, and then there's more stuff that's going to go on. It's little bites here and there. It's big bites every now and then. It makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I think it's just not quite hitting for me. Like, again, some of the dialogue maybe is just not there quite yet. I'm not really a big fan of the way of her scenes with Helena, honestly. Like, it feels like there should be a better connection between those characters because they're technically sisters, yeah?
Yeah.
They're
half sisters.
There's just no feeling of a connection there whatsoever for me. And then Alicent's just out fucking around in the wilderness.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that Alicent's got one scene in this last episode. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, Helena's death, I for sure thought they were going to change it for some reason, but they didn't.
Maybe it was kind of a thing of if we close like 3 plot lines per episode in the final season, it's going to look rushed and kind of little compact. So it's kind of sprinkle a little something there, and they figured, okay, whatever, we'll just do this one here. I don't know. I'm not gonna harp over that one all that much. There's other things I rather complain about.
How did you feel about the overall season in terms of like making up for the last season? Like, do you think they took like a massive step forward after kind of like being stale, maybe? Or standing still?
My initial response to that would be yes. I do think this was a step in the right direction. I think the real answer is going to come in about 3 to 5 months when I decide to rewatch it and give it a second run. Like, I'm really starting to feel it's on a rewatch a few months down the line when I really get a good sense of how good I think the season was, as opposed to immediately after watching it. So maybe when season 4 comes around, I can revisit that question. But as of now, I do think this was a step in the right direction, and I think they have set themselves up for a very good season.
Yeah. I just really hope they don't make it shorter than 8 episodes.
They don't. There's too much to fit in like 6 or 7 episodes.
Oh yeah.
This
Second Battle at Tumbleton.
The 7 and 8 episode shit needs to stop.
I hear you.
All these shows take 2 fucking years to come out, and then they're too short. I hear there's an ad for the Penguin right now. I hear this is now in limbo. Season 2 is now in limbo. Season 1 of the Penguin was so fucking good.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We gotta break out of this. Wait 2 years for a shorter season than we're used to when shows used to be able to come out 10 episodes a year. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it takes away from the show.
Yeah. No, I agree. I genuinely want 10 episodes to come back because I feel like the 10 episode thing was only there for like 2 years for whatever shows came out during that time, and then they're like, oh, 8, and it's like, dude, what constitutes a miniseries anymore?
Did
3 episodes, 4 episodes?
Did Walking Dead fuck this up with their 16 episode seasons or whatever? Like their seasons went on for a super long time, and then like in their last seasons, I didn't actually finish Walking Dead, but I remember, I think they started splitting the season into halves.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
When really it's 2 different seasons.
So they did that because they want it was like a money making decision. So by doing that, the last 8 episodes of the season would happen in the new fiscal year, so they would make more money.
Cringe.
So
Awful.
The 8 episode thing is because of the pandemic. Because they want quality over quantity.
I didn't realize we can't make 10 quality episodes anymore.
You easily can.
Easily can.
I just think it's, I don't know, maybe less risky to do 8. I don't know. I'd have to look into it more. It drives me nuts too. I don't like it. This season was great. I will never forgive. Well, we've talked about kind of getting over the last season of Game of Thrones. Like, we're still not happy with it, but we don't hate it as much anymore. I'll
let you know how I feel because I'm rewatching it with my dad, and we're into season 4 now. I will tell you how I feel, and I'm curious how he feels about the last 2 episodes.
I honestly am curious as to how you'll feel too, and I genuinely can't wait for him to finish it. But it really bothers me that they went, it was, what was it? It was like 10 episodes a season, and then it was 7, and then it was 3.
Went to 7, and then went to 6.
6, that's right. Or no, it was 8 and then 6, I think.
Whatever. It was less.
So
it was dying down.
Yeah, so it just it sucks, but it's something we're gonna have to deal with, and I really hope those 2 episodes they decide, you know what, this show needs it. But, who knows? Who knows?
There is opportunity.
There is opportunity.
On the bright side, Night of the Seven Kingdoms was very good.
Yeah, and I'm thankful we have that because that coming out, I think it was like next season.
Yeah, next year.
I'm an idiot. Next year is going to help me wait for the next episode of this because I am so pumped for the next episode of this or the next season of this already.
Yeah.
Just because of how good this season was, that it's tough.
Yeah, Night of the Seven Kingdoms was where we're doing a shorter series is proper because that's what the story allowed. That's what the story was. It was a short story. It was not that long. There's only so much in it. It's not this House of the Dragon where there's all these different locations and storylines taking place all at once. Night of the Seven Kingdoms was just a single story of 2 people primarily.
Yeah,
so
but
it's fine if they can get 6 good episodes out of 2 of a duo cast. They can get 10 episodes out of an ensemble basically. Yeah,
it's crazy to think that we have literally no notes for Night of the Seven Kingdoms because that show is fantastic. And don't forget, those were half-hour episodes.
Yeah, it was
half hour.
It was super short.
Yeah, and we had like full-on dinners before those episodes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's wild to me. But you know what? Here's hoping that they turn things around. And they don't shorten next season for the next season of House of the Dragon.
I think that might be the first red flag. How many episodes is season 4 going to be?
Yeah.
Please be 8 or more. Please be 10. You can easily get 10 episodes. That'll be the first red flag. If it's 7 or less, then I'll start to get worried. Until then, optimism.
Yeah, optimism.
And opportunity.
Optimism. All right. Do you have anything else you want to add before we close it out?
No, I'm good.
All right, that does it for our episode on House of the Dragon Season 3. Tell us what you thought of the season or what you thought of our episode on our social medias. We can be found at 5050net. That's at FIFTYNET. Oh, shit. No, I did it wrong. At FIFTY50NET. Let us know what you think of the episode, what you thought of the season, and what do you hope to see for the next season. Let us know in the comments. Thank you for listening.